All right, so before I proceed, let me give you some introduction about myself. My name is Ankush Sir. I have 10 plus years of experience working with the database administration, and I got an opportunity to work with the data engineers and cloud specific technologies also. Previously, I worked with multiple MNC companies like 𝐒𝐻𝐫𝐤, Infosys. Then we have where I work, man. Wipro is there, LTA is there, right? And now I'm the part of Learnomate Technologies, where my role is CEO and founder. Okay. So today we have connected to make understand about the PostgreSQL database, right? So before we talk about PostgreSQL, just wanted to know that how many people are working as a DBA here? Can you please say yes? How many people are working as a DBA? Anyone working as a DBA? Any DBA, like it can be your Oracle DBA or maybe MySQL DBA or any other DBA, SQL DBA. What about other data? Can you please let me know which DBA you people are working? So I'll just get some idea like what you people are working, right? So Guru is saying SQL DBA, Santosh is saying SQL DBA, Supriya Oracle DBA, Prince Oracle DBA, Harshad is also yes saying yes. Okay, fine. And I think then I'm expecting that other are freshers mostly. Okay, fine. So let me share my screen and we'll talk about some more concept about DBA. So first of all, let us try to understand about DBA side, which is called database administrator, right? We called it as a database administrator. Now in the IT industry, we have multiple databases are there. So basic role of my database to store a data. Whenever I want to store a data, in that case, we use a database system. Like just take an example of bank. Okay. Now let's say you are going to the bank. Let's say this is a user one. He is saying that I want to open my account. Okay. So he will go to the bank and then he will open his account. And after that, he is going to do some transactions. What he will do? He will do some transactions. Like he will do some credit. Okay. Or maybe he will do some withdrawal. And whatever transactions he is doing, he can see it into his app or web application, right? So you might be using the internet banking where you can see that in your account we have 10,000 rupees is available. But where this data is stored, right? Where this data is stored, this data is stored somewhere, right? So when you are saying that I have 10,000 rupees in my account and I can see it with the help of my internet banking, that data is actually stored under the database right here. So every bank, to store a data, what they will do, they will use some database, right? Now we have a multiple databases are available in the market. Like we have multiple databases are available in the market, like we have Oracle databases are there. Now those people who are working with the Oracle database, we called it as a Oracle DBA. Then we have PostgreSQL database is there. Now those people who are managing the PostgreSQL, we called it as a PostgreSQL DBA. Those people who are managing the MySQL database, we called it as a MySQL DBA. And then we have a SQL Server DBA are available. Now any bank, let's take an example of any SBI bank, and this SBI bank, if it is using a Oracle database and they need someone, who can start my database, stop my database, they need someone who can take the backup of my database, they need a DBA. So we know one thing, that now those people who are following me most of the time, they might have heard about the Oracle database. So Oracle database is very, very important, and most of the clients are using Oracle database specific to the, when you're talking about the banking system, right? So most of the banking clients are using a Oracle database. So Oracle is good, but there is some problem also. What is the problem? What do you think? What is the main issue with the Oracle, guys? What do you think? Can you please use the chat option and let me know? What do you think? What is the problem with the Oracle? What do you think? What problem you see specific to the Oracle? So main problem is related to the cost. Yes, people are saying the main problem related to the cost only. Okay. So if I want to use, let's say I'm a very small company, we are a very small company, right? And if I want to store my student data, okay, I want to store my student data. So we are a company, we are a private limited company, and the people are paying us, right? They will do some transfer. So their transaction I want to store. If I use the Oracle database is very costly, because you cannot use Oracle database for your real-time production environment. It's not free. For our training purpose we are using, because it is just for training purpose. But if I want to use for my production environment to store my actual data, I cannot use that, because I need to purchase a license. And don't consider that getting a license of Oracle database is like 1000 or 2000 rupees worth. No, it's very costly. So mostly what will happen, the applications or the clients which cannot afford the license, they will go for the alternative solution, which is either free or it is less costly. So those applications which cannot afford higher cost, they will try to store a data where you will have free or it is less cost, and in that case they have open source databases there. Open source, we call it as a open source database is there, and that open source database is PostgreSQL. This is the database. Now what is meant by open source? You can use this open source database for your real-time production environment, and that is completely free of cost only. You can use this open source database in your real-time production environment, and it is completely free of cost. So now this PostgreSQL database you can use for multiple purpose. Like let's say you have any data warehouse application is there. Let's say you have any CRM application is there. Let's say you have ERP application is there. Let's say you have any web-based application is there. Any type of application can be stored under the PostgreSQL database. It is completely free of cost. And since it is an open source, you can see the code of PostgreSQL database also. Like let's say I'm a developer. I want to see that how this PostgreSQL database has been created internally. I can see that by using the PostgreSQL, because it is open source now. And as per my requirement, like let's say my requirement is I want to make some changes to the PostgreSQL code. What I want to do, if I want to make some changes, I can make some changes also under this PostgreSQL database. I can create some add-on. Or extension for this PostgreSQL database also. Now I have a setup of PostgreSQL, but that does not support any particular feature. So in that case, what I can do as a developer, I'll hire some developer and I can create that add-on also. And that is the reason in PostgreSQL you will find multiple add-ons are available through which you can do multiple tasks. So it is more flexible also, I would say. But one problem you will find when something is free. Okay, when something is free, there is one problem. Can you tell me what is the problem you'll find when something is when something is free? What will be the problem? What do you think? I do understand that PostgreSQL is fine, but what is the problem? What is the problem you'll find? The main problem you'll find when it is something free, that is support. Why we need the support? Why we need support? Normally in Oracle database, just take an example of Oracle database. Let's say I'm using a Oracle database, and if something went wrong to my database, let's say my database is getting down continuously. I'm starting a database, after some time my database is getting down. I have seen that my backup job is taking too much of time. Earlier it was taking 5 hours and now it is taking suddenly 10 hours. There is no change in my database. So if I have some issues in my database, what I will do? If I have some issues with my database, Oracle database, I'll reach out to the Oracle support team. So you will have dedicated support team will be there, and you can raise your concern saying that, boss, this is the problem. Can you please fix that? So you can raise your concern. You can raise your concern with the Oracle support team, and they will provide you support also, because Oracle is not free of cost. You are paying money, right? So they will respond you back with the solution. So support is one problem. Another is security. Security is also one. Security means, let's say you have some bug in your Oracle database or SQL Server database. So whenever you have any bug which is available inside your database, what you will do? Normally in database, when you have a bug in our database, what you will do, guys? Let's say you have some bug in your Oracle database. What you will do? What do you think? What you will do? When you have some bugs or any security issues is there inside your Oracle database, to fix that issue, what you will do? You will apply the patch, right? So you will get the patch from your SQL Server team, or you will get the patch from your Oracle team. Now this PostgreSQL is completely free of cost, right? Now I cannot call someone that, boss, I have some issues with my PostgreSQL, can you please send me the patch? Right? That's the problem. But you know, there are set of communities is there. We called it as a PostgreSQL community. Okay, PostgreSQL community. Or you consider that a set of people who are helping you, but that is a community setup. Community setup is means you will get the patch also. There is no problem. You will get the patch also from the community. You'll get the support also. But again, like, you need to understand that since it is free of cost, it may take a time. It may take a time. Okay. So this is how the PostgreSQL works. So any application, you know, which cannot afford the licensing cost of SQL Server or Oracle database, they will try to go with the PostgreSQL, which is also one of the RDBMS database like other databases. It is also RDBMS database only. Only the thing is, it is open source. So that is good for you, right? Let's say I have a application which is not that critical. So can I do one thing? Can I put my database under the PostgreSQL? Yes. And if you need paid support also, let's take an example. You are using PostgreSQL and you are happy with the paid support. You can take the paid support from one more company is available. What is that company? EDB, Enterprise. There is a company is available. We called it as a EDB. Okay. So we have EDB is there, which is a company that can help you. We call it as enterprise database. We call it as enterprise database. So what they have done, they have taken the PostgreSQL, which is completely free of cost, and they have provided some additional features. If you use EDB, you will get additional features. You will get the support also, but again, it's not free of cost. So depends on company to company. You can go with PostgreSQL also, and if you need the support, you can use this enterprise database also, which is also internally PostgreSQL only. Till now, whatever I have discussed, are you able to understand, guys? Till now, whatever I have discussed, is it clear? Can you please say yes, no? Can you please use the chat option and let me know if you guys are able to understand? Abdul is saying yes, Supra is saying yes, Sagar is saying yes, Sunil is saying yes, Rashma is saying yes, Dheeraj is saying yes, Harshad is saying yes. Fine. 1+ Dale, Santosh, value. Okay, nice. So how the PostgreSQL install? Okay, if I want to do the installation of PostgreSQL, how we can do that? So you can install this PostgreSQL on multiple environment. Like, let's say you will have a server. Okay, first of all, you will have a server, and under this server, you can have your PostgreSQL database. You can have your PostgreSQL database. Okay. Now you can install multiple database also. Let's say you can have multiple database under this PostgreSQL architecture. Let's say this is my PostgreSQL cluster. Okay, this is my PostgreSQL, and under this PostgreSQL server, if you want, you can install your multiple database also. And under this database, you will have tables will be there, which is your database objects. So I will have my database object will be available over here. So if you want to install the PostgreSQL, first of all, you need a server, right? You need a PostgreSQL server, basically your operating system. So you can use multiple operating system. Now, since it is a free of cost, they have done a lot of development. So if you want to use Red Hat Linux, which is a Linux provided by Red Hat company, you can use your Oracle Linux, you can use your CentOS, you can use Ubuntu, even you can use Mac operating system also. You can use your Mac operating system. In Oracle, like Oracle, we were not able to install Oracle on Mac operating system, but here you have a multiple options are available. Even you can use your Windows operating system also. Let's say you have a Windows server, and on the top of Windows server you want to install PostgreSQL. You can do that. You can do that. That is possible. So basically, when we draw the base level architecture of PostgreSQL, basically you will have a server. Okay, you will have a server. Now this server, it can be Linux server, it can be your Windows server, it can be your Mac operating system, it can be anything. It's up to you. Normally in real-time production environment, you will find Linux or you will find Windows operating system. On the top of it, you can install your PostgreSQL server. Okay, so you are going to install your PostgreSQL server, and under this PostgreSQL, you can have your multiple database. You can create it. Creating a database under the PostgreSQL is very simple. Like just create database name, not like your Oracle database. Okay. And this architecture is little different from your Oracle architecture. Architecture wise, it is same only. Most of the components you'll find same only, but database structure, if you are asking me, this is little different how it is if you compare it with the Oracle database or any other database. So now we will try to understand about how PostgreSQL architecture works. Like I'm going to talk about PostgreSQL architecture, basic architecture we are going to learn first. Whenever you are talking about any architecture, okay, so basically your architecture get divided into the two part. Okay, basically your database architecture get divided into the two part. The top part will be your memory part, and below part will be your storage part, where your database related files will be stored. So why we have a memory part? Because why we have a memory part? Because this is a memory part where your queries are going to be processed. So when you want to process your data, that will be processed under memory, and when you want to store your data, that will be stored under your storage part only. Now, in order to make you understand about the PostgreSQL architecture, just take an example. Let's say there is a client. Okay, let's say there is a client or any user. I would say whenever any user or client, he want to connect to the database. Let's say there's a user or client, maybe he's using any client machine and he want to connect to the database. So whenever client want to connect to the database, this connection request will be handled by your postmaster. So there is a background process. There is a process which is most important process in the PostgreSQL. We called it as a postmaster. So whenever user want to make connections to the Oracle database, postmaster is a process which is going to take the connections. Now when we want to take the connection, basically he will use the port number 5432. Like when people or any connections you want to establish to the database, he will use an internally port called 5432. This is a default port. Now if I want to compare it with the database like Oracle database, normally connections will be taken care by the listener, right, in the Oracle data. Similar way here, when user want to connect to the database, that will be taken care by the postmaster service. So this is a very important service, or you consider that this is a service which is going to take the connections. Now what this service will do, for every connections it will create a backend process. What it will do, for every service it is going to create your backend process. Means let's say 1000 people want to connect to the Oracle database, so 1000 backend process will be created. For every connections you will have dedicated backend process will be created. Now this is a memory part, right? This is a memory part. This memory part, the top part will be your shared memory. Okay, this part we called it as a shared memory, where your query will be processed. Okay, shared memory. Let me write down here. In this shared memory, now this is memory. Like when you are configuring any server, let's say this is my server. Okay, when you are configuring any server, to every server you are going to give some RAM, right, which is a memory you are going to provide, or RAM or memory. Let's say to this server I have given some 100 GB of memory. So among 100 GB of memory, among this 100 GB of memory, your PostgreSQL server, you are going to allocate some memory for the processing of your, because when people will connect, they will consume the memory, right? That memory will be around 25%, and that memory is basically a shared memory. This is a memory which is used by the database. Why database required a memory? Because when user is sending a request, he is saying that when this user got connect, he will say that I want to select some data, I want to insert some data, I want to do some insert or DML operations or DDL operations. When he is performing some operation, in order to process his request, that request will be processed under memory, and that memory will be your shared memory. Now this shared memory will be divided into the multiple part. Like we have one important part here, we call it as a shared buffer. This is a shared buffer. And on the storage part or on the disk level, you will have data files will be there. So you will have data files here. Like let me write down here, data file number 1, you will have multiple data files. Data file number 2, right? Now what will happen? Okay, so what is this data file? Okay, what is this data file? Data file is your actually physical file where your actual data gets stored. Just take an example. Let's say there is a user one. He is saying that I want to write down the data like select star from EMP. He is write down the command like select star from EMP. We normally, what we feel whenever someone is write down the query, we normally think that the data is coming from the EMP table. We normally feel like we have a EMP table, and from EMP table the data is coming. This is wrong. EMP table is actually your logical stuff. This is a logical view. So where your actual data gets stored? Your actual data gets stored under your data file, which is a storage part where my actual data gets stored. Now this file is a binary file. You cannot read the content of data file. So in order to read the content of data file, you need a logical view, and that logical view is basically your table. So when you say that I am going to insert some data, let's say I'm inserting some 50 GB of data or 60 GB of data, that data is getting stored under your data file here, which is a storage part here. Again, remember one thing, that you cannot directly access data file because this is a binary file, because this is a machine level language which you cannot open by using cat command. You will try to open, but it will not get open. You will not understand. So when client is sending a request, that will be handled by postmaster, and then when he is going to say that I want to insert some data, that data will be stored here under the data file. But remember one thing, that these data files are physical file which is available in the disk. These files which is available in the disk, and getting a data from the disk is very costly operations. Now let's assume that he is saying that I want to select the data, select star from table name. Or so what will happen when he is saying that I want to select the data, before the query get execute, before the query, now let's say there is a user one, he is saying that he is running the command like select star from table name. First of all, your syntax check will happen. Syntax, what is meant by syntax? Syntax means, boss, I'm running the command like select star from table name, but whether that command is complete or not, there is a chances that you may have made some mistake in the syntax, right? So if you have made the mistake, you will get the syntax error saying that okay, there is a comma is missing, table name is missing, something is missing. Assume a situation that syntactically it is good, then it is going to check semantic check. Semantic check means maybe the user is having required permission or not, maybe the table is available or not. All these things will be happened. Assume that syntactically it is good, semantically it is good. Then what will happen? There is a person who called optimizer. What he will do? He will create execution plan. What he will create? He will create execution plan. What is meant by execution plan? Execution plan means how this query is going to pull the data from the data files. Now if I want to go from one location to another location, we choose the best path, right? Okay, I'll go with this way so that I will save my 30 minutes. That is a plan. If I want to build a home, I will create a plan from the civil engineer, right? So that it will save my 10 lakhs rupees. Similar way, optimizer will create execution plan, and let's say he has created multiple plan. Among them, the base plan will be pick up. Among them, the base plan will be picked up by the optimizer. So he is a person who is just creating a plan before you take a data from your data files. He has created a plan. Now assume that he has created a plan, the plan is ready now. Let's assume that he has created a plan and now plan is ready. He just want to get a data. So first of all, he will check the data, whether the data is available under the shared buffer or not. Why? Because this is the part of your memory. This is the part of your memory. Now anything which is available inside your memory, it's very easy to retry, right? When you are going for an let's say exam and you know the answer, first of all you will check whether you know answer or not, because it is a part of your memory. If the answer is not available inside your memory, means if it is not available here under the shared buffer, then you will take the data from your data files here, because here I know which is a part of my disk. So the request will come here under the data files. The request will come under data files. Here the request will come, and then it will retry the data from data files. But before that, it will make a copy under shared buffer. Why it will make a copy under shared buffer? It will take the data from here, but it will make a copy under shared buffer. Why it is making a copy under shared buffer? Because let's say the same request is coming for the same table. Next time he don't need to go to the data file. My data is available under shared buffer only. So it is taking a data from the shared buffer. So any data which is available in the shared buffer, it is good for your performance purpose. Why it is required? Because now you take an example of our website only. Let's say you are opening my website for the first time. Our website name is learnomate.org. Learnomate.org. If you are opening this website for the first time, it will open very slow because you have retried it from the data files, which is from disk. Next time when you are opening, it will open very fastly, because now that web pages related to our website are available inside the memory. So it will be very fast. So shared memory, again, it is a limited means it's not like you are going to keep everything into the shared buffer. This shared buffer, how much it will be, you can specify under the configuration file. So PostgreSQL.conf will be there, where you are going to specify how much it will be my shared buffer. If you want to increase the memory, if you want to decrease this area, you can make the changes. Till now, whatever I have discussed, are you able to understand, guys? Can you please confirm me with the chat options? Till now, whatever I have discussed, can you please confirm me whether you are able to understand? OnePlus is saying yes, Sunil is saying yes, Abdul is saying yes, Harshad is saying yes, Karthik is saying yes. Okay. Yes. Nice. So this is all about, your shared buffer area. Likewise, we have one more buffer area is available here. We called it as a wall buffer. Now those people who are working as a DBA, to make you understand or to make you easy, this wall buffer is basically your redo-log buffer. And here in the down, you will have a redo-log files are there, but in PostgreSQL we called it as a wall files. This is my wall file number 2. We can have multiple wall file, which is my redo-log file actually, if I want to compare it with. So what do you think? What is the use of wall buffer or wall file? What do you think? Can you just guess? Guys? What do you think? Any idea? What do you think? Just give an idea, there is no problem in that. What do you think? What is the use of wall buffer? Any guesses? No? Okay. LSL, save commit changes. Okay. What do you think? Save committed changes. Okay, fine. So this wall buffer is mainly responsible to store your transactional logs. Okay, what does it mean? Like, just take an example. This client, when he want to connect to the Oracle, when this client want to connect to the PostgreSQL, let's say he got connect, he is going to perform some DML operations, DDL operations, right? He is going to make some changes to the database, right? He is going to make some changes to the database. So whenever he is going to make any changes to the database, whenever he is going to run any insert command, update command, delete command, or create, alter, delete any DML or DDL operations, that transactions will be recorded under your wall buffer here. And again, remember one thing, that any person, let's say he got connect. So obviously he got connect means he is going to perform some operations, right? He is going to perform any DML operations or DDL operations. Whenever he is running any DML or DDL operations, that transactions will be recorded over here. Just take an example. He has inserted some 1000 record. Okay, he has inserted some 1000 record. So that 1000 insert queries will be written, or that transactions will be returned to the wall buffer here. But again, remember one thing, that this is a area which is a part of your memory. Any part, like you including your shared buffer or wall buffer, this is a part of your memory. So do you think that it is a permanent? Any data which is stored inside your shared buffer or wall buffer, do you think that it is permanent? Do you think? No, right? Any data which is available in the shared buffer or wall buffer, do you think that it is a permanent data? No, right? Right? So if you restart your database, by any chance, if you restart your instance, PostgreSQL server instance, if you restart, so everything will be gone, right? If you have anything available in under the shared buffer or wall buffer, it will be gone, right? That is the reason what we do. That is the reason what we do means automatically the database will take care. It will start writing the data from your wall buffer to wall files here. It will start writing the data from wall buffer to wall files. Who will do that? Who will do that? What do you think? Who will do that? Who will do that? That will be taken care by the background process. We called it as a wall writer. So what are all scenarios are there? What are all scenarios are there where you think that the data will come from wall buffer to wall file? The first scenario will be your whenever you are making commit. Whenever you are making commit, that time. Whenever you are making a commit, any data, any transactions log which are available inside the wall buffer will be written by the wall writer to the wall files here. Remember one thing, that this wall writer is having some fixed size. So it will be mostly 16 MB. But if you want to increase or decrease, you can do that. Again, what are the scenario? What are the scenario? Whenever this wall buffer is going to be full also, okay, there is a chance, right? This wall buffer will become full. So it will start writing the data from your wall buffer to wall files. It will start writing the data from wall buffer to wall files. Who will do that? Wall writer. Who will do that? Wall writer. So whenever you are doing any DML operations or DDL operations, that operations will be recorded under wall buffer, and this wall buffer is having a limited size. Again, I'm saying you can make the changes from the configuration file, and that will be recorded under wall files. Who will do that? Wall writer. And these wall files will write down the data in the circular fashion. So it will start writing the data from the wall buffer to wall files here. First of all, your data will be returned to the wall file number 1. Let's say your wall file number 1 is full because it is having a limited size, right? Then it will start writing the data wall file number 2. Then it will start writing the data to the wall file number 3. Let's say I'm having 3 wall files. Now what will happen? Let's say all my wall files are full now. Here my user is continuously making the changes. So this wall buffer is getting full and it is writing the data from wall buffer to wall file. My wall files are getting full. So my wall files are like this. Let's say you have a user, he is making the changes like DML operations, DDL operations, that will be recorded. Where it will be recorded? Wall buffer. From wall buffer, it will start writing it by the process. What is that? Wall writer. Let's say it is getting written to the wall file number 1 and wall file number 2. And this wall file is having limited size, right? Let's say it is in MB, right? Now this is getting full. Let's say you have a data coming over here in wall buffer. From wall buffer to wall writer, it will writing the data to the wall file number 1 first. Then it full. Then it will start writing the data to the wall file number 2. Then what will happen? Again the data is coming from here. Continuously data is coming. So when it is coming, what will happen? You need to put your database into one more mode, and that mode we called it as a, if your database is not in archive log mode. There is one more method is there called archive log, no archive log mode. What will happen? If these wall files are full, and still the data is coming, it will start overwriting the data. But I don't want to overwrite this wall file, because this is a transaction log which is required for my point in time recovery. I need this transaction log for my point in time recovery, PITR. And if it is getting written or written, I will not be able to do my point in time recovery. Now those people who are not aware about point in time recovery, don't worry, I will explain you one by one, slowly since it is a first class. Okay, might be it is overburden, but it is required. Now what you can do, you can put your database into the archive log mode, and if it is there, if your database is in archive log mode, what will happen? Your data will be written from here to the archive log files in the form of archive log files. Here it will come, it will start generating your archive log files. In which location? Archive log location, archive log location. Here it will start writing the data from your wall files to archive log location only in the case if your database is in archive log location. If your database is not in archive log, it will override the wall files, it will override it. And I need this archive logs, I need this archive log because I want to restore my database till particular timestamp. Okay, let's say you have a backup available till yesterday. Okay, let's say you have a backup, what is the current date? 28. Let's say you have a backup available till 27. Here you have a full database backup available till 27. So 27 to 28, which is my current date, this is my current date, you do not have a backup, but your database got crashed on 28, your database got crashed on 21. Do you think that you can recover your database till 20th? Do you think you can recover your database till 20th? Yes. How? Because 27 to 28, whatever transactions you have done, that transactions will be recorded under archive log here. And when this archive log will get generated, this archive log will be getting generated in a situations if your database is in archive log mode. So you can restore your database till 27, and from 27 to 28 you can apply your archive logs. That is possible. That restoration we called it as a point in time recovery. Point in time, till particular time you can do that, but for that you need your database to be available in archive log mode. So I'll talk about that one by one, slowly, don't worry about that. Okay, if you find any concept which is difficult, we will try to go slowly, there is no problem. But overall understood, guys? Overall, whatever we discuss, did you understand? Can you please use the chat option and let me know whatever things we discuss? Is it clear? Little bit, 5%, 2%, 10%. Arshad is saying yes, Abdul is saying yes, Sunil is saying yes, Dale is saying yes, OnePlus is saying yes. Nice. Okay, nice. So basically we are planning to start a new batch of PostgreSQL. Okay, this will be your you can see the content over here. Okay, we are going to start our new batch of PostgreSQL, and this is a syllabus that we are going to start. This course will be your basic course, I would say. Okay, basic means it will be like kind of intermediate, you consider like that. Okay, and by considering the syllabus and everything, we are keeping the fees of this training very less, which can be afforded by any person. And when we compare it to the market, you'll find it's very less actually, because I feel like I want to keep it very low at this point, and will gradually increase it also. Okay, that's the way, like, you know, we have done it for other trainings also. But I think that this is a golden opportunity for all of you to enroll for this PostgreSQL. And believe me, the demand of PostgreSQL is really increasing day by day, because everyone cannot afford the Oracle license. Yes, where banking is there, definitely they can afford, but the mid-scale companies, even I have seen nowadays many people are switching from license based to free license, or maybe where we have a less cost is there. So definitely we are going to learn everything slowly, one by one. And I know that most of the people are quite aware about the Learnomate and me, right? So that's the plan. So those people who are interested to enroll for this training, you can reach out to my team. There is a form available. um, there is a form available in the chat. You can fill up this form, and believe me, I'm always trying my best to deliver the best content. Okay. um the duration will not be that big. We'll see, like, how we can put the duration. I don't want to discuss anything about the fee structure, and here you can discuss with the sales team. Okay, they will give you overall idea. I But still, if you have any questions regarding this training, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me questions. Okay, I'll share you the syllabus also. This is the syllabus, guys. Okay, you guys do one thing. You can Harshad, this thing I'm interested. Okay. Yeah, Harshad, please reach out to the team. Okay. The numbers are there. Please fill up the form also. Okay. Uh, we will let you know. Okay. So this is the syllabus. Okay. You'll find here. Thank you for will standby and replication will be covered. No, not in this batch actually. Okay, that's what I'm saying, that this is not the as of now I'm not thinking about the advanced point. Maybe in the next batch we will try to add standby and replication also. Okay, but not in this batch. Okay. Thank you so much for listening me. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Please reach out to my team, Learnomate team. They will talk about the fee structure and everything. But if you have anything, okay, we'll discuss one more time if you need me. Okay, we can take care of that. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye. Thanks.